We are on the air. And guess what, everybody? Today is something I've never done before. Can you see it? Is it too close? It came. Ordered yesterday, arrived today. This is the Techzone Audio Stellar X2 Neumann U87i clone, I guess. That's what they're saying. I'll insert some pictures here that talk about that show what this came with. The sheet, very personalized, I should say, in terms of its testing, I guess. It's quality checks. And I'm going to do a quick mic shootout today just to, see what this is like. If you've ever watched The Booth Junkie, Mike Delgado, he stole his. He got it and he kept it. So I'm going to test out. I have 3 mics now. In the past, I started with an AKG Perception 220. Well, it was okay. And at one point, I got a Mike Jolie engineered. It was an NT1A, a Rode microphone that he did his magic to. I got it. Something must have been. It sounded like I was in the ocean. So I sent it back, and I never got a new one. And I regret that because he doesn't make them anymore. I should have got one. Maybe that big fat one. Anyway, so that was out. And then for a while, I had a Equitech CAD 100S. I believe that's what it was called. Nice mic, smooth. It started going a little bit whack about a year or so in. Some kind of static sound. I sent it back, got it fixed. In the meantime, I bought a Lewitt. I believe it was a 640. It had a lot of different options. Well, it wasn't a bad mic, but you know how, if those of you who are like me, who have the gas, I don't mean that kind of comes out. I mean the gear acquirement syndrome, gear acquisition syndrome. I have to be very careful with it. Usually my mama tells me, my wife, the boss, tells me I have to sell a mic when I get a mic. She's trying to keep things even. And I respect that. And quite frankly, how many mics do you really need? I mean, how many mics do you need? Maybe a travel mic? Well, I'm not there yet. Most of what I do is in this box. So I got a real good deal a few years ago on a book. And with the money from that book, I did quite well. So I bought a Neumann TLM49. I did a lot of research. Could it 103, 102, 49, I like pretty shiny, expensive things. So I got the 49. And fairly religiously have used that one ever since. And here it is, right there. So I used that quite religiously on my books and whatever. And it sounds good. It sounds fine, and I make it sound pretty through mastering and all that good stuff. And then I got myself one of these a couple years ago on a sale. There's the Neumann. And that's what I'm speaking through now. So the Neumann sounds great. I've had a torrid affair with it over the last month or so, using it for audiobook recording. I think it sounds better than Neumann. Frankly, it's a wonderful microphone. They run hotter and less hot depending on what you have. I have not hooked this one up yet. I'm going to very soon because we're going to test it. The Neumann runs on my chain is the microphone into a first generation. Universal Audio Apollo Twin Solo into the Mac. I run that on I used to use Twisted Wave all the time. Now it's pretty much Studio One. And I do my mastering, and I also have Isotope RX7 Advanced. Probably too much for the average person, but what the hell, it's paid for. And my stuff comes out sounding pretty nice. So that is my chain. Lately, it's this microphone. And what you're hearing on this video is raw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a raw reading right out of this. I'm not going to master anything. We're going to see what it sounds like. I'm going to do a few lines out of Sanctuary by W.J. Lundy. I just picked this book because it has a nice beginning. I'm going to read it here. And this is the 416. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to read it in front of you. I'm going to read it on my own. And I'll post up a picture of something. And then you can see what you like best. And then at the end of the video, I'll tell you what's the order of which I did. I can easily hook these two up. So I may switch. I don't know. I may pick the other one up. But you get to hear it. All right? So this way you guys can kind of hear it without knowing exactly which mic it is, I guess. So we're going to do that. All right? So stand by. Rounds punched into the sheetrock overhead. The space filled with dust and rifle smoke. Giles rolled away from the impacts, bits of plaster biting at his face. He crawled behind the meat counter to his rear. A bright flash of light and an explosion from the front of the building washed out his night vision. He shoved the now useless NVG, night vision goggles, up and away from his eyes, then pressed his back to the wall. He could sense a soldier directly to his right, another to his left. Even through the pitch black, he knew they were there. He could hear their heavy breathing, the clattering of their equipment. Giles grabbed for the Motorola radio microphone hanging off his right shoulder. "Cease fire! Cease fire! You're hitting us in the crossfire, damn it!" Rounds punched into the sheetrock overhead. The space filled with dust and rifle smoke. Giles rolled away from the impacts, bits of plaster biting at his face. He crawled behind the meat counter to his rear. A bright flash of light and an explosion from the front of the building washed out his night vision. He shoved the now useless NVG, night vision goggles, up and away from his eyes, then pressed his back to the wall. He could sense a soldier directly to his right, another to his left. Even though pitch black, he knew they were there. He could hear their heavy breathing, the clattering of their equipment. Giles grabbed for the Motorola radio microphone hanging off his right shoulder. "Cease fire! Cease fire! You're hitting us in the crossfire, damn it!" Rounds punched into the sheetrock overhead. The space filled with dust and rifle smoke. Giles rolled away from the impacts, bits of plaster biting at his face. He crawled behind the meat counter to his rear. A bright flash of light and an explosion from the front of the building washed out his night vision. He shoved the now useless NVG night vision goggles up and away from his eyes, then pressed his back to the wall. He could sense a soldier directly to his right, another to his left. Even though pitch black, he knew they were there. He could hear their heavy breathing, the clattering of their equipment. Giles grabbed for the Motorola radio microphone hanging off his right shoulder. "Cease fire! Cease fire! You're hitting us in the crossfire, damn it!" So here I am, and guess what I'm talking into? The X2. It sounds pretty good. The hard part is trying to find out the gain on the Apollo, just to make it right. It sounds very much like the Sennheiser. I think it's deep. I have it set up here. I have to play with it, of course, but I think I have it set up pretty decently. I can see what I can see. But I think it sounds pretty good. What do y'all think? Right? On my Apollo, it's set at 50. Not bad. I was waiting for my furnace to come on, because that'll show. But thanks to RX, I can get rid of all that like magic. Point is, I wanted to see if I could do it, but I turned the furnace off early to get a true test. And now, of course, it won't come back on. At least when I flick the switch, so I guess it's fine. I don't know. Point is, this is the Stellar X2. I'm fairly impressed because it's $200. So right quick, I'm going to unplug this one and plug in the Sennheiser, and we'll see what the difference sounds like. The Sennheiser is going to sound hotter, so I have to adjust it. So give me a second, okay? Okay, we're back on. Now you're listening to me on the Sennheiser on the 416. It took me a second because I had to unplug it and I had to save the damn thing on my console. So I have the settings for the other one. The Sennheiser is at a 46 on this thing. I recorded what you heard earlier. It was the TLM49, the 416, and then the X2. The X2 I recorded at a 46, same as this. And then I did it again as a whole separate test that you won't see here, at a 50. And we're going to record the same chapter that I'm working on now at this level, and then see what they sound like when they're mastered. But you're hearing it raw. So there you go. You tell me. Comment wherever you feel like it, whether here on YouTube or on the Facebook page, whatever. But I want to hear what you guys think. This is the Sennheiser. See, it's unplugged. And I think, I don't know, it sounds the same, right? Is it just me? I mean, it sounds close. Oh, the furnace is on. Stand by, stand by. Okay, I'm back. I had to do a quick test. You could probably hear the furnace in the background slightly. Listen. I haven't tested to see the analysis on this to see what it says the RMS is. I don't know. But it sounds pretty good. Really? Right? Right? $200, $199. Whatever this kid's doing, he's doing well. It feels like a solid... I mean, it's a solid mic. It's not like plasticky and crappy. You've seen other reviews. It's great. So if you need a quality sounding microphone for low money, I mean, I'm going to play with it some more, but I'll update, posting. I'm not going to do another video, but maybe in a year. I don't know. Depends on how much I use it, but it's nice to have. And if it sounds like this one, the 416, it's a good travel rig, right? It's a good travel mic if I need to. So once again, this is the Stellar X2 by Techzone Audio. You're hearing it now from me, right? Listen, this is it. This is this microphone. And this is, this microphone. So, I'll make you drunk. Oh. So there you go. I'm a little off kilter, aren't I? Look at my big hand. Boom. Anyway, yeah, so this is the 416 I'm talking to because I got to do some real work. I don't know, guys. Sounds pretty close. You tell me. Enjoy. I hope you like this. Gives you an idea. Happy recording. Happy holidays from all of us here. Hey, guys. As I was recording the whole video, I forgot to do two things. One, tell you the order of the mics. The first mic was the TLM49, which is what I'm recording on now. The second mic was the Sennheiser 416, and the third mic was the Stellar X2. Maybe you figured that out. I've never done a mic shootout before, so forgive me. Anyway, I also wanted to talk into this one, so you can compare it to the 416 and the other one. I think it's kind of obvious that I'm not much in love with this one anymore. I'll probably keep it. I don't know. It's paid for. It's paid off. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. See what Mama makes me do. I don't know. But I wanted to talk into this one so that you could hear how this one sounds when I record, because I'm usually right here and it's right in front of my face, and there you go. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this mic shootout, and maybe I've helped make you make a decision. If you're just starting out, that damned X2, quality, toilet flush, awesome. Thanks, guys. Once again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.